Alright, so we're back at it for another day here. We're working on combine stuff. You can see here, there should be a shaft that comes down. And 2 bearings. And the same here. Well, the spinners, I don't know whether you'll be able to see. Spinner bearings on the top of them, of these, were wore out, so we decided that we should probably take them apart before they got hot and caused a fire or something like that. So yesterday we took them all apart. That was a great job. Nothing wanted to come apart, and how they're in there is just a bad design, I think. In the grand scheme of things, it just doesn't come apart like it should. And you can't just change the bearings without taking the whole shaft out, and it's stupid. But Jeremy's over there cleaning them up, getting the shafts ready to go back in. Alright, so this is how you machine a shaft. And when you get your bearing on, I wouldn't call it machine. This is machined. It's... Do you know what you're doing over there? Yep, see? Drops like a rock. Oh, it should just slide right like this. Should slide right off. Just like that. I don't know if I got that on camera actually, but once you get it going, it should just fall right down. That is called Milwaukee machining. You know, you put a flappy disc on there and just go to town. That's how it's done. Who needs a lathe when you got a grinder? So, yep, that's how we're getting all these shafts so everything slides. We don't have to heat and beat and get it off. So, hopefully it'll all go good. So we got the shafts in. This one's not quite done yet. We lost the 3 bolts somewhere along the lines in here, but this one's actually mounted in. All we gotta do is tighten up these collars, I think. You lock them over and you tighten your set screws so they don't come loose. We got this one here and the one up under here, but we shimmed it out a little higher so our gear mesh is a little better. And I think we actually spun these. This one was over there and that one over there is now over here. I think they'll run different. We'll get a little more life out of them, but I mean, they're pretty wore out. Probably could have used a new set, but they wanted 180 bucks a piece for them. So for what they do, it's not like it's in a gearbox or anything. All I do is spin spinners, so we should get another 1,000 hours out of them hopefully. Yeah, so I don't think we'll ever have to redo those. It'd be nice. We did cut these out here. This spot right here, because we couldn't get these off, so we had to cut it out, and then we pulled the shaft through, and then we could finally pull it out the bottom or out the top. But we did that on both sides. Everything was just seized up super bad, so then we went through and cleaned the shafts up like you saw, and now everything works great. So I gotta try to not smack my head on everything. So I'm gonna run and get some new bolts for this side over here, and then I'll take, and after lunch we'll take those spinners and put back on and put the belt on, and everything will be ready to go again. I'll tell you what though, the neighbors got some beans that are turning real quick here, so I mean, we aren't far off. Ours are a lot greener than that, but alright, so these are all fixed back here. You can see they spin around in a circle, so that's a plus, and they don't hit unless you do that. You know, you can make them hit. They aren't quite timed exactly perfect, but when they spin around in their main direction, they work perfect. So alright, so we're back at it for another day here. We're working on combine. We're going to be changing this return elevator out, from taking it off of this machine and putting it on our new one, because we just rebuilt this one and it's got good sheet metal in it. We know a part of it has really good sheet metal in it, so we don't really want to just leave it on the machine we aren't going to use. and the one on the new machine is wore out. It's got holes in it, so we want to switch it because we know this one's good and that one's not so good. We'll just put that one on this one because I don't know how much this one's actually going to get used. So. All right, so now that we got this chain off of here, you can see we can just take and spin that thing at a pretty good easy pace. So that way we can then come over here and find the master link either in this hole, or I think it'd probably be easier down here on the end. We might even be able to just spin it here by hand. That's what I'm talking about. So that's how we'll do this. We'll spin it down here until we find it. All right, so as you can see, we made a giant mess on the ground. The clean grain elevator was full. The bubble up auger is full because when I shut this off, it had a full tank on it. A full grain tank it is. And when it got dumped on the truck, the auger never got restarted to empty that all out. So everything's sitting there full, and I couldn't figure out why the slipper clutch was going off up here. And turns out I popped the door open and the whole elevator empties out. So now we got a sweet pile of grain on the ground. So anyways, now what we're gonna do, I think, is take these 2 bolts off, or these 4 bolts, one here, same on the other side. This one here, I think there's one down in here. And then, don't know if it's best to take it apart right there at that joint, or I think that's where it's best. I think it is. All right, so we got this thing all mounted back up on here. Bolts are back in the hole, bearings on. All it needs is a chain, and I think we got a couple guards to put back on. That's all we have left. To run the chain through, we're gonna have to find a rope or something to run up one side of the elevator and then back down the other. So I think there's a little inspection hole up here that I can open up and then go through and drop the rope down both sides, so that way we can pull the rope around and get the chain up. So the key to that is making sure you put your chain in the right way, because I don't think it's that fun of a job. We've done it a couple times and it just don't look forward to it. But everything else is back together. There's no holes in this thing, and I like that. All right, so we got this thing put on. It's in a lot better shape now. And I don't think we'll ever wear this thing out, between the fact of it being a nylon ribbed or nylon ply, I don't know what you want to call it. But anyways, it's actually, I don't know if I said this, but it's coal belting for a coal conveyor at a power plant. Jeremy's up here having a great time.
Filter removal.
So he's got a filter that's kind of stuck on a little bit. When I say a little bit, I mean it's you went too far through, didn't you?
Yeah, because I was too far through the other one.
So now this thing's stuck in it, but he did it good this time.
I got it on.
Not yet. That thing's gonna be oily forever now. Oh yeah, that's what you like to see coming out the side of your filter.
Oh, it was pouring for a minute.
So yeah, whoever put this filter on was a real true.
Put your filters on. Put oil on the O-ring.
You gotta oil the O-ring before you put them on, so that way you don't need to put a hole through it. All right, so I was gonna try and show you on this thing. I'm gonna try and show you on this why we changed it, so you can see. Oh, you can't really see. Dang it! I need a light. You should be able to kind of see. There you can see there's holes in it all over. You get up in there farther, and the holes just get bigger. So about halfway. So about halfway down this thing, there's probably a 8 to 10 inch long hole that's about 2 inches wide. So that's why we replaced it on this.